Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. Today we'll be talking about Solana and the cleansing cycle that it's going through. To anybody who's new to cryptocurrency, the best way to look at altcoins, basically every other coin other than Bitcoin, that's the best way to look at them is against their Bitcoin pair. So if you want to look at, let's say, Ethereum's evaluation and to see how Ethereum would perform, you want to look at it against its Bitcoin pair because Bitcoin is the biggest coin in cryptocurrency. And if Bitcoin goes up, it carries the rest of the market up with it. The other smaller coins have a lot of risk associated with them. So you're better off just holding Bitcoin if you think Bitcoin is going to outperform the other altcoins. So if you look at ETH BTC, you can see the ETH BTC chart has been going down since 2021. So even though Ethereum went up from 2021, it was still better to hold Bitcoin rather than Ethereum. But you can see the trend is shifting now. Now the trend is more in favor of Ethereum than Bitcoin, like how it changed over here. You can see the moves are very similar. So now it's better to be holding Ethereum for the next few years rather than Bitcoin. Same thing with Solana. If you look at Sol USD divided by BTC USD, you can see in 2024 Solana topped against Bitcoin, and now it's trending downwards. Was what I think that will happen to Solana is exactly what happened to Ethereum. What happened is, let's compare ETH and Sol, because I think Solana is basically lagging Ethereum by one cycle. If you look at ETH USD, it had its first cycle in 2018, 2017, 2018. This is the initial capitalization phase for Ethereum. And in the second cycle, what happened is the altcoin, the community lost its way. What we saw was meme coins like Shiba Inu, and you had NFTs. You have pictures of apes, dogs, and monkeys. Everything just blowing up, selling for millions of dollars. The stuff that was basically worthless. It was worth nothing, selling for millions of dollars. And what happened after that is the market punished Ethereum. It punished the community for the gambling that was happening in 2021. I'm pretty sure anybody that knows about 2021 bull run, they know all about Shiba Inu pumping. There was like a million other altcoins, and then you heard about the NFT craze in 2021. And what happened with Ethereum was it got punished for what it become in 2021. Now, if you look at the Sol USD chart, Sol USD is very similar. What happened with Solana? It had its initial capitalization in 2021, and then the industry just became a casino, even worse than Ethereum. I mean, it was crazy. 2024, 2025 was all about meme coins, and nobody knows those meme coins now. I mean, I know a few off the top of my head, like Dog with Hat, Bonk, Popcat. You had presidents launching meme coin like Trump coin. Where is that coin now? I mean, it's crazy. The gambling that was going on. This is Donald Trump's coin that he launched in 2025. Look at that coin. So I think what's gonna happen to Solana is for at least a year, you're gonna see it trend down. Look at this, down 96%. This is Trump coin. This is official Trump coin that was launched by the president. Just down 96%, like nothing happened. The best way to look at Solana now is to see what Ethereum USD did against Bitcoin. So let's look at what ETH did. ETH USD divided by BTC USD. We could actually compare the first cycle of Ethereum to the first cycle of Solana. I mean, it's a valid comparison. So if you look from the top to the bottom, Ethereum dropped. I can't even see it clearly. Hold on. Let me pull up monthly charts so it's zoomed in a little better. Okay. If you look at top to bottom, first cycle, Ethereum USD dropped 89% against BTC USD. So let's now pull up Sol USD divided by BTC USD. First cycle, right there. It dropped about 89% too. You can see this the drop against Bitcoin was the same amount from the top to the bottom, which is hard to see here, but 89% exactly same, the same amount of drop. Now you can argue that if we keep going with the same pattern, the second drop that the cycle we saw in the last cycle for Ethereum against the Bitcoin pair was about it was about 80%. So my thoughts on Solana is you're gonna see Solana drop 80%. Let's say 75 to 80% against Bitcoin before it farms its bottom. Other than that, I think it's just better to buy Bitcoin. If you're interested in Solana, you're better off buying Bitcoin than Solana because Solana is gonna go down against Bitcoin. So if you see 80%, I mean that puts you all the way down there. So I'll be a little optimistic to say maybe if it comes to like these wicks over here, it doesn't drop 80%. Maybe it just drops 77, 78. I mean anywhere from 75 to 80%. If I see if I see Solana down 75% against Bitcoin, that's when I'll be interested in buying Solana. I'm a big Solana bull. I used to believe in Solana. I used to buy a lot of Solana back in the day in like $15 to like $20 range. But I mean, the gambling that happened at the peak over here is just not it. I mean, everybody's scamming everybody, rugging everybody. We've seen the Trump coin chart. Also, Millennia. There was a Millennia coin by Trump's wife that she launched. That thing is down probably 100%. So Solana right now is a casino more than anything. It's. I mean, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. So if I had to pick a price that I would buy below, it would be probably below like $30. I'd be interested in Solana. But my short-term views on Solana is bearish. I think it's gonna go down a lot more. It's gonna go down a lot more than $76, and maybe next year it bottoms. Because if you see ETH BTC, it took about. I mean, let's measure from the last cycle, right? Let's measure the amount of time it took. It took 40 months from peak to low for Ethereum to bottom against Bitcoin to become a good investment. 40 bars, 40 months is monthly bars. So same thing with Solana. If you look at Solana and we see 40 bars, let's measure 40 bars from the peak. That puts you out until July of 2027. So I will say if you want to buy at a price, if you see it down 75% from the peak against Bitcoin, that's a good price to buy it at, whatever price is at. And if you want to buy it looking at a time, it will be the second half of next year, basically starting July in 2027. And I think other than that, you should just focus on Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think you will see Solana go through this cleansing cycle that Ethereum went through. That's my thoughts on Solana. If you guys have any other suggestions, any other requests for any other coins, let me know. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.